To this episode with Cine Shows. And I say yes, exactly, with Cine Shows because that's the show. I wouldn't say like, of course, you're like, yes, with me, Shania, your host, but then I'm just saying with Cine Shows because, yeah. But anyways, we're talking about In Your Radiant season. I keep, yeah, like every time I start an episode, I'm always like, oh yeah, is the intro good? But if you already listen to the show, then you already know how it goes. Sometimes I usually just jump in, but it's literally like, yes, an intro is also good. I might do intros, I guess, from now on, but then I may also forget as well, potentially. But yeah, as I said, we're gonna be talking about In Your Radiant season, which was obviously it just like finished not too long ago now. Of course, if you haven't like watched the drama, you should stop here and come back because obviously all the way throughout we will be talking about like everything from like the start of the show to the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Just everything in different places, so you could stop and then come back, and then obviously, yeah, we'll be back here and then you can regroup and share your thoughts and your feelings about the drama. But that's just obviously just a warning for people who haven't watched it or heard of it. Even though for people who haven't watched it yet, I will give actually a non-spoiler first and foremost anyway, just for intro, just for like plot wise. So it's almost like I just want to say that first before you dash off, before you go anywhere. It's actually like I feel like this show, was actually very good. And also, I didn't think it was going to be one of my favorites as well, which is surprising. Obviously, I talk about dramas a lot on this show, but it's like, I didn't think that I was going to enjoy this drama as much as I did. And it's crazy that we're only in April. Like, there's so much more months to go of the year. And I already feel like In Your Radiant season is taking that number one spot, so I feel like that says a lot. If of course, if it wasn't as good, like, that's just me letting you know, if it wasn't as good, I don't feel like it would already be at my number one, because again, I feel like, again, I've watched quite a few dramas this year already. Of course, on the top of my head, do you know what I mean, I was like, oh, I have to check my list. I have to check my letterbox list, you know how it goes. But I'm thinking that it's probably around like 12 or something like that, or 5. Actually, no, it's not 12. I think I do want to check, just because I don't want I don't want any, like, as in, I want to make sure I'm giving you guys the right number. But okay, so it's like I've got around 8. Yes, 8. So, which is not bad. Do you know what I mean? I've actually done 8 so far this year, and that's quite good. But I'm just saying, in terms of that 8, exactly, In Your Radiant season is at the top. And then, so obviously, to explain what In Your Radiant season is about, is basically this girl who is she's going through like a tough time. The show is so crazy as well, because it immediately just throws you in first and foremost, like literally, like, you don't even get eased in. But it's honestly like, she obviously like, I guess, also, I want to see the bio. Sometimes I like to look at shows sometimes and see what the bio says before I come up with my own, my own interpretation of what the show is about. And it says, an unpredictable romance that awakens frozen time when a man named Chan, who lives every day like a summer vacation, and a woman named Ran, who has locked herself in winter, meet as if by fate. Do you know what? Like, literally. So it's like, would I change anything about that summary? Yeah, not really. I would say it is very much a very fated love story. Like two people who just, yeah, right, not right place. I was gonna say right person, exactly, right person type story. I feel like, because again, like, you'll meet so many people, and then you'll be in I guess you'll be in a relationship with somebody, right, or someone, and then you'll meet somebody else who's literally like the person that you need, and the person who gives you everything, whereas the other person doesn't. Do you know what I mean? And I also feel like with our main character Ran, like literally I would literally just say, like, with the summary, I would say that exactly. Ran was like, yeah, she was in a state of like depression, and obviously the main character Chan basically got her out of that slump. Like that's literally for, like, exactly for the non spoiler review. That's literally what it is. The show is literally about like two people kind of getting themselves out of winter and like improving each other's lives just by being around, basically, and also being around through the different seasons as well, like in terms of just all of them, not even just, oh yeah, like spring and like all of those. But I really loved the element of the season thing. I really enjoyed that in this show. Like, I feel like, of course, if the season thing wasn't in this show, it would have been obviously a complete different story. But it felt good because, again, like, I guess with all seasons, seasons bring a lot of different things, and it's literally like they can be really hard to go through, especially winter. Like, for me, as someone, I feel like my mood really, like, exactly, I do think when we always say that weather plays a big part in our emotions, it really does, because winter will have you feeling like, right, the world is going to end. They call it seasonal depression. So obviously, like, honestly, when you get a bit of sun on your face, you literally just feel so rejuvenated. Like, there's literally something about like the sun coming out and like actually feeling like life is good, and then also when you get all these different weathers, like rain, like, hello, like, literally it's so bad. And I do feel like if I had to pick like my favorite season, because I was thinking about the season thing quite a lot, I was thinking about the season thing quite a lot in the way that, like, I can't really say, like, as in what my favorite season is. Sometimes I've always thought, because I'm a summer baby, I very much like that season, of course. I like summer because, again, in terms of whenever you're born, it's like literally like you're just drawn to that season. Can't really help that, though. It's like, exactly, if I probably wasn't born in July, I would probably say that I like winter, even though you might also feel like if you are born in winter, you still might be like, oh yeah, I don't really like the cold or that or anything like that. But for me, I really do love summer. But I do, obviously, even in what this show made me think, I do very much enjoy spring slash fall. Like, I feel like that season is very nice too, because everything seems to really slow down. And like, also, because again, you have harsh winter, like how the show explains it, you have harsh winter where there's blizzards and, like, I guess a lot of different stuff going on, right? A lot of stuff just hitting at you, and that's really what winter's about, it's really about getting through the hard times. That's what winter does. And then really spring comes in and obviously gives you a bit of sun, and obviously it moves into summer and there's that little shift, but it's very slow, though. It's such a very slow approach and lead up to summer. It's almost like when summer comes and spring ends, you're like, damn, like, actually we are already in summer. That's what it feels like. It felt like that, like, even how it's basically summer now in the UK. So it's like it's happened so quickly. I mean, it's actually like, oh, I was actually saying to someone, I was like, oh, wasn't it like spring like just last week? People were like, guys, it's practically summertime. And I was like, it is? I was like, because again, we're still getting those like chills, you know what I mean? The weather's still a bit funny, because it's like when it hits around, I feel like May, June time, that's really when the heat starts. But right now in like April time, you get like a little bit of sun, and like you get a bit of like you can wear your coat like occasionally, or like once in a while you don't have to wear one. But I'm just saying, it's not even a thing where you're not in the like peak of summer yet. So it's usually it's a very weird time. But I just do think, for me with spring, I feel like it's a very slow time. And I do think in terms of like months anyways, I do feel like April is the time where you should be very much like kind to yourself. I think people always talk about, in terms of months, people talk about that you have to like have everything figured out, or that like when the new year starts, you have to immediately start doing your new year's resolutions, or like, yeah, you should be doing them around January, February, or whenever, but literally do them whenever you want. At the end of the day, do them whenever you want. Like, people like will have it like you have to do it immediately, even though, what's so weird, and of course this is just me bringing this up because I love Sims, but like, obviously Sims will make you set resolutions for your Sims, and they'll want you to like achieve it like in a matter of like 7 days. I'm like, hello, even us as humans, we don't do that. That's really unrealistic to put on a sim. I'll be so honest, because literally I'm like, isn't the sim supposed to in a way mirror life? So I was like, there's no way anyone, if they're gonna set a resolution for themselves, that they're gonna like achieve it in 7 days. I'm just mean. And it's like, again, I think that's to do with the whole idea of thinking that you need to have your life together as well. And it's like, there's just so much there's so many like bad messages out there, because again, it's not true. And I feel like we just all need to be kinder to ourselves. That's the main thing. We need to be kinder to ourselves. But anyway, that ends also the the non spoiler, because again, I feel like what I just said really should, I wanted to spill about seasons, but again, about the main show, that should actually intrigue you to watch it, because of the whole like season factor, and having people around you who you can like go through that with. Do you know what I mean? Because you do need that. Do you know what I mean? So again, now we're going into spoilers. Okay, so I was reading my notes for this episode, but obviously my first note, it starts off so like, it starts off so violent. I mean, obviously I was like, oh, that her boyfriend was a bum, and she's mad that Chan pretended to be him and he was better than that dead guy. Oh, and I feel like that sounds so rude, but then again, like, I feel like it was also a thing of when this show finished. It was such a huge discourse. Do you know what I mean? I mean, you were probably there, but like, it was such a huge discourse because everyone was like, "Oh, it was wrong for Chan to lie to her," and I was like, "But no, because Chan didn't even want to do that. He'd never wanted to, like, I guess, have this close relationship with her. Like, initially, just exactly like being the guy's roommate, so being her boyfriend's roommate, he never literally wanted to go out of his way to befriend Ran. It was never anything like that. Song, well, her name's Song Harang, but obviously he'll basically just call her Ran. But obviously, I could just call her Song, actually, to be fair. But yeah, no, like, literally, the roommate, the boyfriend was like, oh, like, can you text Ran or whatever? Like, that's what I mean. He basically wasn't making any time for her. And then also we come to find out that he wanted to break up with her anyways. So I was almost like, I was like, why are we mad? Why are we mad about him lying? And then I saw, I think on TikTok at the time, that it was a very split down the middle thing. I was thinking, whoa, I'm in the trenches right now. No, literally, I was on the front lines, because I was obviously being like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Because honestly, I was like, Chan's not wrong for lying, because again, he just didn't want to, he did it to protect her. That's the whole thing. And of course, there's the case of, oh yeah, should you lie to somebody if you're protecting them? Do you know what I mean? Like, lying is wrong. I will say that. Lying is wrong, but I'm just saying, sometimes when you're trying to protect someone, and especially because they're like, she loved this guy, and he didn't love her, he didn't love her the same way. So like, you really want to burst someone's bubble in finding out that actually your boyfriend, like, he didn't love you, and he was also like entertaining another woman, and he was not thinking about you. That's why, like, that's why, again, their laptops got mixed up, but he was fine, like, to not hear from you. Do you know what I mean? He was literally fine not hear from you, and he was fine to be like, oh yeah, to ask Chan, like, go and buy gifts, go and do all of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, he literally just made Chan be be him. Like, literally, he just made him be him and be what's it called, be Rand's boyfriend. Like, literally, that is what the boyfriend did. So it was literally like, and he was actually evil. So again, my comment that I made when I was watching the show is like, yes, it was harsh, but I was literally like, and then I know that I just knew he was wrong. Like, no, literally, I knew that her boyfriend was wrong, even after we come to find out what we find out in the end. You know, I literally knew there was something weird about him, and he just didn't, like, again, remember, because Chan was trying to remember what happened and what the incident was, and he was trying to piece it together, and I was literally thinking, like, yeah, like, this guy, he doesn't seem like he's a good guy, if that makes sense. Like, of course he was dating Rand, but I was like, oh, like, it didn't seem like he deserved her at all. Like, I don't know. And then also in the way when we were seeing Chan's fragments, I was actually like, this incident looks funny, like, it looks weird. Like, why was it that, like, you know, Chan was also at the very brunt of it, first and foremost? Like, obviously, right, he opened the door, and then obviously he got the brunt of all the flames. And by the way, you know what I mean, I don't even want to say this, but then again, it's because K-dramas always do this, you know, they're so unrealistic in that way, because of course, what do you mean Chan got the brunt of those flames? Like, and you know, in a lab, that's what I mean. I was like, in a lab, there's so many like flammable like flammable stuff in there, and you mean to say that Chan got the brunt of that incident and he didn't die? I was like, what? That is crazy. Like, do you know, because remember, K-drama's favorite thing, remember, is always throwing a white truck inside any kind of storyline. They're literally like, white truck, take the person out, simple, finish. So what do you mean, oh, anyone will get in a car crash with one of those big white vans, but Chan survives after being hit with like huge flames? Like, those flames were huge. They didn't even seem like they were like dousable. I mean, so in the way of when all the fire engines came, I was like, these flames are huge. So I was like, what do you mean? Like, the flames are huge, and Chan managed to actually live. Like, he didn't come out unscathed. Because again, if he did, that would have been crazy. He didn't come out unscathed, but he did survive. So I was a bit like, whoa. I was a bit like, hold on, that makes no sense. And then of course, so like, well, the fact of the matter is, was because obviously the boyfriend died, because again, obviously we saw that he started the fire. I was like, well, yeah, because again, so he started the fire, but then obviously Chan just got like, yeah, like I said, Chan got the brunt of it, but again, the boyfriend was actually in the room. So it's like, yeah. So again, it's like, of course, he wouldn't survive, because again, that would have been insane. Like, I mean, with K-dramas, you can never be surprised, though. Like, do you know what I mean? Whatever they do like the weirdest things. So it was almost like I wouldn't have been surprised if they decided to bring her boyfriend back by some like weird chance. They would have just been like, oh yeah, he's back and he managed to survive. Do you know what I mean? They would have done that, and it would have been really weird. Because it was like, oh, like, we thought you died. But that happens a lot in these shows, I'm telling you. We thought you died, and then they'll be like, no, I didn't die. And I was like, wait. We're like, wait, weren't you in a fire? weren't you in a fire? And they'll be like, no. And we'll be like, no, I saw you die. I actually saw you die with my own two eyes. I saw you die. And then what are you doing here? And again, it's just, I don't know. I just don't be having a go at K-dramas, but again, we do know that they're super unrealistic sometimes. They try to like gaslight us, and I think that's insane, because you're not going to gaslight me. Even when I think that a show is like cringy and bad and like inaccurate, like, I'll say that, do you know what I mean? I'll literally say it, but I'm still gonna watch it and be like, oh yeah, like, this is great. But I'm still gonna be like, I'm gonna be like, this is a bit weird, you know? Like, literally, I think it's, again, if we try to actually make a comparison, it's a bit like what's going on with Euphoria right now. Just in the way that, like, you know, Euphoria is a good show. Like, it has a good foundation, okay? Foundation concept, okay? As a concept, Euphoria is good. But in terms of, like, you know, where it's where it's gone, where it's going, where it's going, kind of. Because I feel like, again, obviously one and two, I meant, were like it at its peak, and then I think, I don't know, I was gonna say most shows sometimes do have like their downfalls. They do have moments where they do obviously have a bit of a slip, you know. I don't know what happens, but sometimes it happens. It's a bit weird. I do think, though, I guess, although Euphoria has lost ratings, because I saw that actually, I think when I was watching it, yeah, I was watching a YouTube video. I think it was Abby. Yeah, like, she's one of my favorite YouTubers. I think I'll put it in the description, like, if like, if I remember what the video was. But so I think she did a like video, and then she obviously put a screenshot of like probably of Rotten Tomatoes. So I think she obviously did a comparison of like how on Rotten Tomatoes, like, she did the Euphoria like season 1, and then how low it's gone from season 3. So I was literally like, you know, it's not just me. You know, like, literally, I'm like, sure, everyone's still watching Euphoria season 3, but I'm not wrong to think that, you know, the show has gone in a different, like, it has gone in a different direction. And like, we can still say that, you know, like, right, we can still say the story still stands, that, you know, the show was, you know, it was great, like, it was good, but where it is now, you know, it's not there. It's not there, and we would love it to go back there. I mean, that's just me, though. But that's my whole point. Like, to do with like the drama, like, yeah, I was literally just like, yeah, do with them like in your rainy season. It's just like, yeah, like, I was a bit just like, oh yeah, that they would have Chan survive, and I generally thought that, like, yeah, like, and we saw Song Hangrang, we saw her like literally go through the grieving period, and it was literally like, right, so they had us believe that Chan was dead, but then they were like, no, actually he's alive, and he has like burn marks, but he's fine. You know what I mean? He's okay. And I'm like, okay, cool. But it's literally just like, and when I say that, yeah, so obviously, that was my first. So even if I break down my sentence, I mean, the first part, exactly, I'm saying that her boyfriend was a bum. Yes. Like, again, that's true. Why are you getting a guy to get your girlfriend gifts in your place, though? But it's like, what? Like, that means you're giving us the green light to take your girl. That's all I know. That's literally what you're doing. And then you're going to get mad even though you asked us to do it. That's what I'm saying. Like, it was insane when we saw him punch Chan. Exactly. He was like, oh yeah, I've been talking to Ran. I was like, but we wouldn't have been doing this in the first place if you hadn't asked. And you guys can tell right now when you sing as I'm in like flow state, is that like, that's, I think it goes to say, I really did obviously enjoy this drama, but I mean in the way that, like, in that scene, I was like, you make no sense. We didn't even want to do this in the first place, right? Or because you were afraid to dump your girlfriend. Even though what's already annoys me about that is that Song Hangman was so full of life when she was with him. That's what's so annoying. she was literally so full of life, and that's the whole thing, because that's why Chan made it his mission to make her go back to that. Do you know what I mean? To what she was originally. And I was like, so you were rubbish, and you put her on this whole, like, I guess, whole self journey where she had to be closing herself off from the world, and then really it was all for nothing. Like, literally, it was all for nothing, because you weren't a good boyfriend. It was somebody else. And like, exactly, the person she was talking to, and the person who got her pen, that obviously got her that that got her that project, were like, hello, like, that wasn't you, that was someone else. And we're literally just like, that was just a whole load of like, do you know what I mean? That, what was that? I'm actually like, what was that? And then obviously I said yes, he was better than that guy, because the whole fact of the matter is was that even though Chan lied, so this is me. This is, I guess it feels like I'm coming across like, yes, this is my plea to say, yeah, even though Chan lied, he made it his life's mission. Even if he was going through things, he still decided to put Rand's happiness over his. I was like, anyone who puts their happiness over somebody else, I'm like, hello. I'm like, that is crazy. But like those people who do that, like they are literally like, I don't know, like they're literally saying, it's like literally Chan would be having a hard time not remembering obviously everything that happened, and he'd just come to Rand and he'd just be smiling. Also, oh my gosh, also Che Jung Hyuk? Yeah, that's my guy, that's my go. I was actually like, I obviously saw him in Serendipity's Embrace beforehand, and I think there's also another one as well, but Serendipity's Embrace more recent, as in that's the freshest one in my mind before this one anyway. But he's just got a really great, like, there's something about him as an actor, there's something about him. It's his charisma, probably like, yeah, his smile, like literally his smile his smile, it cures world peace. Like I was like, bro, he can just smile and it's just, yeah, it's finished. It's done. Like the way that he would just show up and be like, yeah, it's me, and then everyone in the office, remember, everyone in the office loved him. He just come and everyone would be like, oh my god, it's Chan. They were like, oh my god, we love you. So I was actually like, yeah, this is great. And then of course, I don't know if anyone saw it, but I did a thing on my TikTok where obviously I was doing my favorite Korean actors, and obviously, yeah, this drama has obviously made it onto that list of the dramas that I've seen of his, and I'm really, really glad. I really am glad. And then of course, yeah, let me not even talk about Lee Sung Kyung. I said hello. She is the rom-com queen. She's the rom-com queen, because I said, of course, she was in Weightlifting Fairy Kim Bok Joo, and then in this too, and I said 2 for 2. I said thank you, you did well, and I loved it. I loved it a lot, and I said I can't wait to see more of you. You know, I think she was obviously also in, she was in Doctor Romantic for a little bit too. I think like around the second, right, like either the second or third. I haven't finished watching Doctor Romantic before anyone says anything, but again, I know that she was in it though, so I just mean that her acting is very superb as well. And also, actually, before I move on to my next note, I very much thoroughly enjoyed the intro as well. Like it was like an animated kind of intro. Yeah, obviously it's like the she's running through the snow, and then obviously it would change every episode as well, so I loved that. I found that really amazing. I think that's what I'm saying, like I keep thinking like In Your Radiant Season is number one for me, because yeah, the intro was so good, and I haven't seen a great intro like that, like as in yet. Even though I will say actually that Perfect Crown does a very good job on that too. Like in terms of intros, I mean, Perfect Crown has a very good intro too. Like that intro is great. So I have to bear that in mind. But I still think that In Your Radiant Season, in terms of its intro and like everything else, is yeah, as I said, I don't have any notes. Remember, exactly from the thing I already spoke about, actually, just to do with the whole like lying thing, there's nothing else, you know. I just mean, I always think anyways, sorry, I think it's because people love to use the misunderstanding trope, or miscommunication, that's the one. I think a lot of writers, just in general, in like, exactly, in film and TV, I'm just saying, they love the miscommunication trope so much. Do you get it? They even used it, remember, I did my XOK episode, they used that so, oh yeah, they used that so much in that recent season, and we're just like, what is that for? And again, of course, it creates drama and tension and all these things, you know, that like a story needs to flow. But it's just like sometimes the miscommunication and what they use it for, it's just a bit like, why? It's just a bit like, no, like there's no need for that. Like literally, because I just mean with that's why I said even with this one in specific, I was literally like, this could have been solved, because if you knew that your boyfriend at the time, he actually wanted to break up with you, you wouldn't be upset. Like literally, you might be upset about the fact that, you know, yeah, he was rubbish to you, but you really wouldn't be upset about the fact that the lie happened. You know what I mean? It's bigger than that. You know, it's like it's bigger than the lie. Do you know what I mean? So it's literally like we don't need to really scrutinize on that main thing. Oh yeah, my next note is actually the same the same thing kind of I've already said, which is like, oh yeah, if I say her ex-boyfriend deserved to die, then what? Yeah, I mean, I was actually doing way too much. I was doing way too much. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna take accountability. I was doing too much, because literally I was just like, yeah, if I say that he did, then what? And then he was doing it to keep her around. That's why Sonu Chan was able to slide in. That's what I said. I already said that though to you guys. I said yes, that's why he was able to slide in and steal his missus. I'm like, hello. I'm like, he got her a pen and it had her name on it. And do you know what I mean? Like, what were we doing? I'm just saying, what were you doing? Like, while you were doing Nish, like, hello, I'm actually serious. Like, I think that's why I was so like stuck on it. Like, I was digitally just like, who is this guy? I was like, who is this guy? And bearing in mind, that's what I mean when I was talking about the incident as well. Bearing in mind exactly, he blew himself up. So there we go. He was careless, and so he blew himself up. Like, he was smoking inside the lab. And like, what kind of person smokes in a lab? First and foremost, what are we doing? I already said about the flammable thing. So I said, why are we doing that? And the fact of the matter is, smoking is for outside. Everyone knows this. Like, it's literally what? Smoking 101? I'm like, literally, you don't smoke indoors. You smoke outside. And okay, he said if you are gonna smoke indoors, open the window. But then, first of all, don't open the window in that room in specific. Just go somewhere else. Like, literally, go to another room. Like, anywhere that doesn't have those ingredients, like literally that doesn't have those little like all those stuff in those tubes and that, like, just go somewhere else. And then the fact of the matter is, I'm sure that was what was so crazy. The people, I think there was two workers there. Yes, there was two workers there who came in the room and they said, "Oh, you can't leave this lying around." And then, of course, then the guy and so her ex-boyfriend and then that same girl who was working at the hospital, they were like, "Oh yeah, sorry," and it's like, hello, they already gave you a warning, one warning, and then you didn't receive the warning because again, the place still blew up. You didn't receive the warning. You didn't heed the people's warning, and you still decided to ignore it. I was like, well, okay, fine. You're just careless at this point. I don't know why I decided to say it that strongly, because again, I was just like, yeah, you actually, you right, you made your bed, you lie in it. And I said, and Sonny Channon's a green flag. He's happy and wants to make her happy. But then again, he's not like, this is what I mean. I said, oh, he's happy in that note, but he's not really happy. That's why I said, I was talking to you guys about him putting his happiness over hers. He's not really happy. He was masking that. He was doing he was doing a bloody well good job, but he was masking it because again, he was very confused and he didn't really remember what happened. So that's what I'm saying. He wasn't actually really happy. He was just trying to make her happy. So literally, I'm like, yeah. So that's what makes it even better. You know, it makes it even better because it's like, actually, you're not doing okay, but like, you obviously want to do more. And I started out this episode by saying about like exactly the fated thing. Like, right. Yes, Haran's boyfriend basically brought them together, but they were also Yes, they were also fated to meet regardless. That's the whole thing. They were actually fated to meet anyways, regardless. Like, we wish that again. That I mean, like, he wasn't their way of connecting. But like, if he hadn't have been, then that's what I mean. Even though I did think about the fact that the way that they did connect eventually, it was like I was like, yeah, well, maybe you guys would have also been fine if you were strangers. Like, that's what I mean. If like Chan hadn't had spoke to her like initially, like in the past, I was like, oh well, yeah, you guys would have been fine anyways, because you would have just been able to just start from scratch. But then, of course, it's in the way that when he met her, obviously he knew all these things about her that he wasn't supposed to meet, like, no. And then he also called her out her name, and she was like, well, how do you know my name? And then, do you know what I mean? It was all a lot of like it was all stuff like that. But I feel like that's what I mean. He should have done that anyways. If you think about it, he should have done a whole like kind of reset button, but he was kind of also, of course, like, right, yeah, remembering the past. And I remember these like little things about her, and I guess his whole thing was that it was hard to forget her. But then, of course, that leads me on to I guess one of the notes that I have, which is and someone wanting to die and then staying because they get a message from you. And I said romance isn't dead. It's not, like, it's actually not dead. It's actually not dead, because you know, he was yes, he was on the edge, and obviously he was so close to doing it, but then obviously Ran sent him a text and then he just came down. I was like, what? I was actually like, okay, like, that's what I mean. All he needed was that message from her. And then also, I think that's why he told her that she was the one who helped him survive his winter, so he wanted to do the same thing for her. Like, literally, when we saw him, and or when we saw him a lot in the past, like in the flashbacks, and it would just be him with his hood like up and like his hair forward, and like you wouldn't see his eyes. Like, literally, he looked like he had like a depressed what's it called, emo anime character. Do you know what I mean? One of those people who are like, oh, I can't let people get close to me because I'm probably going to hurt you. He was doing all of that. Literally, he was doing all of that. Like, and then obviously then it was like, right? So it was like his life pre her, but also she was there too. But like, in a way, it was still pre her, and then again, it's after, where we see him completely blossom. Like, he comes out of his shell, he's no longer wearing that black hoodie, and then, like, you know, he looks all fresh and like smiley. Do you know what I mean? We're like, literally, that's how you get out. That's how you get out of out of a shell, like out of a deep shell. You actually acquire a pen pal. He said that's actually the way. That is the solution. And it seems like it works. You know, it looks like that it really does work somehow. Yeah, there was this point I was going to make and I actually almost forgot it, but no, I was thinking about that obviously her Song Hanran also had this thing where she had a hard time letting people in. Yeah, that was very interesting, because of course she'd been through so much with her sisters and like losing her parents so young. So I was like, yeah, it was normal. I think that is also actually why I do understand people's frustrations actually with the lying thing, because again, she's somebody who I guess like has trust issues, and she puts walls up, and she doesn't really want, like, right, because when she gets too close to people, she wants to protect them in a way that's like, you know, like she gets too overprotective, but then she realizes she can't protect them from everything, you know what I mean? And it is really hard to, I feel like, to confront. I mean, when it's like, yes, when you care so much people's well-being, but you literally know you can't literally shield them from everything. It's actually crazy. For me, that is literally why I think about, when I think about children, I'm like, and having them, that's one thing that just doesn't sit well with me, because I just don't think, yeah, I don't think that I feel like, you know, like I could just push them out there and just let them go out into the world. It doesn't sit right with me. So literally, I'm like, Songrang, I get you, because I'm not there. I'm literally not there, like, literally. So, like, remember, it's like the scene when she put their shoes in the bath. I said, yeah, like, I get it. I actually get it. Like, you can't go out there because something will happen to you and we don't know what, but something will. And how scary is that? Like, there's a chance you might not come back. And oh my gosh, their family relationship was so, like, family relationship, family dynamic, it was so lovely. Like, the grandma, the sisters, like, every time, like, oh, they would fight with each other, but they'd make up, and I thought that was so sweet. And then also when they went to the hospital, and because they obviously found out about the grandma's dementia, and I was like, ah, and I was actually tearing up because it was so sad. They were literally just looking at her and they were like, oh, Harmony, and then like, oh, it was so sad. And then the guy was there too, the guy from the coffee shop, and then yeah, they were just staring at her and they were like, why didn't you tell us? And then of course it was the thing where what, like, she was actually okay. Yeah, like they found out that she actually wasn't, like, I guess she wasn't losing her marbles. I forget what was happening, and if someone can also, like, yeah, someone remind me in the comments. But like, I feel like she wasn't I know that they said that she was going through a bit of, like, I guess, confusion, but she was actually fine in the end, because of course, yeah, that's what. And I hated that bit too, because obviously her younger sister and her boyfriend, the only reason they were fighting is because he was covering that secret, and I was like, bro, like, this is bad. And that again, that's another use of the miscommunication trope again, in its, in its full form, it being used to, cover secrets and cause problems. I was literally just like, oh, like, honestly, if you just say the secret, then this wouldn't be happening. But then I was like, oh, I get it, because again, he didn't want to let her know about her grandmother, and then also she was obviously trying to do I think, oh yeah, she was doing some tests and some exams, so he didn't want to let her know that. And then also, I just loved their relationship so much, like her younger sister and the boyfriend. They were great, they were really lovely. And then I think I remember writing in my review, and I said that each one of the couples represent a specific season, but I did say that Song Hang Rang and Chan, like, they represent all of them, because then again, because they've obviously been through, like, yeah, they've been through a lot, but I meant as in they've been through, like, all of them, so I don't feel like their relationship represents just one. But like, of course, I was like that the grandma and the coffee shop guy, they represent autumn, because again, autumn to me, because they represent autumn to me the most, because of the fact that it was like exactly, it's a past love, basically. Yeah, so I don't know why, but like, because of the past love thing and the fact that they had, like, history, to me it kind of just gave autumn, like, it just gave fall to me. And then obviously, I think I was saying again, in terms of the representation thing, I think I said Hae Young and the secretary guy, to me they gave winter, because of course it was like, he liked her, but he was so cold with her though. Or maybe, better yet, they might even be spring. Yeah. Because again, they may be spring, better yet, because of course, as I said about spring earlier, is that spring is a stuck between of like, yeah, of heat and of hot and cold. So again, that's a bit what their relationship was like, because he obviously, I think, yeah, he liked her, like, for a very long time. Yes, from since they were young. And then obviously he just found it really hard to, like, I guess, confront his feelings. And then it was almost like he was giving her mixed signals, because he was having a hard time also confronting the whole incident with her parents. So I think he was suffering a lot of guilt from that. So, like, again, that's why I think actually they do better yet probably represent spring rather than, like, winter, more so. Yeah, like that, literally they do. I just think, like, it was interesting when I really realized that, and I was just like putting all the couples together in different seasons, because I was like, yeah, like it actually does make sense. I think, and as I said, like actually no, one of my notes just say next that, oh yeah, Young was my favorite sister out of all of them, just because like out of all of them, I don't know why. And also like I was like, oh, I like the main character, of course, so I like the main sister, but it's like Young had something about her in the way that like she wore her heart on her sleeve a lot, and I think that's why she resonated with me so much. And that even though she even though she liked the secretary, and like she could feel that, like, obviously yes, he rejected her, but she still was like explicitly loud about that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's what's so crazy, to like put your heart on your sleeve, like regardless, even when you know that like it's not going to turn out the way that you want it to. I found that really admirable. Yeah, I found that really admirable, and obviously I was just like, she's so funny as well. And then I also found it funny, remember, that they had to pretend like they weren't related at work. That was really funny to me, and I was like, oh, like, I think it was only the secretary guy who knew they were all related. I don't think anyone else did. I was like, what? Like, why does no one else in this office know that you guys are like related, and why do you keep it a secret as well? I'm actually like, now that I think about it, I'm like, why is it that it's a secret in the first place? But then maybe again, it would be down to like stuff like favoritism, wouldn't it? You know what I mean? It would probably cause rifts in the business. But I was like, well, so what? Like, this is yours, you know what I mean? Like, what was it, Nana Kim or whatever? Yeah, I'm like, this is actually your business. If you say yes, what, you are doing favoritism with your granddaughters, then so what? You can go and get a new job. Like, you can, if you want, you can actually leave. Do you know what I mean? It's actually fine. And so I really liked that. And I just feel like I was so sad for the secretary guy, to be honest. And it was almost like exactly the way when he was like pushing Haeyoung away, it was like he thought he didn't deserve love. And that was really sad to me, because I was actually like, he thought that he was like the reason why her parents didn't survive, and it was like, how could that be you? Like, I swear, when I know I made a joke earlier about white trucks, but I feel like I think it was a white truck again, because I'm telling you, I said the white truck, it's their favorite one. Like, I genuinely don't know why. It's like they don't use the white truck like as in, I don't think they don't have another one. I mean, they use the white truck for literally everything. And to be honest, sometimes they don't use it even as well just for death. They just use it for dramatic effect as well. So I meant in the way that, yeah, sometimes when they use the white truck, it's not necessarily just for, oh yeah, we're going to kill these characters off. It's also sometimes just like, oh yeah, let's just throw the main character in hospital. Because why not? just to get the movie, get the story moving along. You know what I mean? We'll just chuck him in hospital because it's fine. Like, just do that. Or then even remember the true beauty scene that everyone talks about, where obviously, sorry, where Han Sojin and Suho, when they have that crash and then they start levitating in the air. That's one of the worst ones, anyways. That is one of the worst scenes ever. And I meant in terms of just in terms of how the crash goes, and them them floating is actually crazy. Who thought, like, literally, whoever was in that writing room and said they thought it was a good idea to do it in slow-mo? Out. You need to leave, because I would have been like, what are we talking about? We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna have them levitate. It's just like, I think they probably took that inspo from, like, I guess you think you see a lot of like car crash slow-mos in like movies, I suppose. You see them in movies quite often, so maybe that's what they got their kind of inspiration from. But I was literally like, no. I was like, it just looked really silly. Another one that they like to use, because while we're on the topic, is obviously what was it? Yes, the amnesia one. The amnesia one's my least favorite, of course. I mean, I understand the truck to some degree, kind of. It's just, of course, it's tedious though, as I said, because we see it so often. But I do get it, because, you know, like, car crashes happen. Like, literally, I'm just saying, like, of course people do die from like car crashes and stuff like that, so it's not like, it's not unrealistic. And I know that neither is the amnesia one, but the amnesia one is just the most annoying, because again, it's like, why are we doing this? Because then they have to, yes, exactly, they have to oh, I don't even know. It's so irritating. And then, because again, remember when the, so we call it, yeah, the Dynamite Kiss tragedy. So of course, when the Dynamite Kiss tragedy took place, that was insane. Because why are you doing it in the last episode? I don't like that. I literally keep talking about this because I generally do feel like that. And exactly, I think I sound like a scratch record because I've actually said it before in terms of talking about like a specific K-drama, but I've just said that, like, yeah, last episodes are literally not treasured anymore. They used to be, but they're not. Like, they used to not, like, I guess, have any kind of dramatic, yeah, they used to not have that in them. I mean, there was nothing crazy happening in them. Literally, they would literally be like the wrap up story, and I mean the wrap up ending, and like it'd just be a nice neat bow. Like, that's literally what would happen. But nowadays they decide to make it like more dramatic, and like they don't care if like they kill someone in the last episode or whatever. Like, it doesn't really matter. They're literally like, they don't care. They're literally like, yes, someone can die, that's fine. But I'm like, why? I'm like, no, because I feel like, exactly, it's a tradition thing, because that's how last episodes have been for a while. So why are we changing it up now? It's actually a bit too late, because I've already come to terms with the fact that this happens every time, and that, yes, I think it's like, exactly, you know, like with animes, you expect that you're gonna get like a beach episode, or like so yeah, in specific with slice of life, you expect you're gonna get a beach episode, you're gonna get them going to a market, or like wearing one of the like hanbok things or whatever. You like, literally, you're like, this is gonna happen in the it's gonna happen, like, with or without you, do you know what I mean? It's just gonna happen. So I feel like it's on the same degree as that. Like, with K-dramas, you generally expect that, yes, you're gonna get them kind of, I guess, getting married, you know, whatever. That's what's gonna happen. That is what's gonna happen. But for you to chuck in amnesia, I was like, well, how did we get here? How did we get here, honestly? And how do we go back? How do we go back? Because I don't want it. It's just very weird. But honestly, that's the end. And wait, even though I said Young was my favorite sister, it's weird. Because I would literally say the other two sisters were my favorite out of even though it feels weird, because I feel like it's rude, because again, she's the main character, but you know, she didn't do much for me though. Like, literally, that's weird. I know it's very weird, because again, I feel like I should be rooting for the main, you know, exactly, I feel like I should be rooting for the main character, and I should be saying she's my favorite sister, but she wasn't, because again, she just didn't do much. She didn't do much for me, like, you know what I mean? She was also in that winter period, and I was just a bit like, yes, I get it, you're sad. Like, not in a rude way. I meant, yes, I get it, you're sad. But then I was also just like, again, I just didn't really feel that too much. And also, I guess it's them two in specific, because then again, like, I feel like the last sister, the youngest sister, that would be more so me too, because I'm also the youngest, so I feel like I can resonate with that, you know. I know I can't resonate with the oldest. It's not gonna work. It's not the same experience, you know. It's like, we don't go through the same things, because, you know, even remember the younger sister was like, oh yeah, I find it really hard because you guys get to have exactly get to have lots of memories with our parents. She's like, oh, I don't remember them, like, do you know what I mean? She's like, oh, I don't even know what their faces look like. So I literally understood her. I was like, for me, I even feel like that sometimes, because not even to say, oh yeah, I don't of course I know what my parents look like, but like in the way that, like, oh, I feel like sometimes with my older siblings, they'll have memories that I don't have, you know, and I'm literally like, it's not fair. And then usually when like we go over albums and that, I'm like, I'm in pictures, but you're in pictures way more than I am. So I'm a bit like, no, I don't actually like that, to to be honest. So that's probably where I was a bit like, yeah, if it's anyone, it's either the youngest or the middle. Do you know what I mean? Either or, but it's not gonna be the person at the top. Yeah. All in all, it was a really good drama, and I would generally be surprised. I'm telling you, from today, I'll generally be surprised if anything knocks it off of off the pyramid, because it's there now, but it could do that. I feel like though, and I did mention Perfect Crown earlier. I do feel like, depending how Perfect Crown goes, hey, it could manage to do it. it could manage to do it. If not though, it probably would take second, if anything. Do you know what I mean? But I do feel like I'm very glad that I'm gonna be like challenging myself to do a ranking list this year, because ranking lists are so hard, and I think I've said it on here before that I find ranking lists so difficult. But at least I'm giving it a go, and of course, like, yeah, I'll be able to rank them and say which ones are my favorite. And obviously, I would say that, even because that's what I mean, even as of right now, yeah, even as of right now, I honestly would say that, like, yeah, that In Your Radiant Season and Perfect Crown are like top two right now. But then, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, Perfect Crown is on, In Your Radiant Season's finished, and that's why In Your Radiant Season is like one currently. But it's like they're both probably neck and neck for one right now. Yeah, then neck and neck, and like that is awful, because I I hate being in charge of these things, but do you know what I mean? Of course you have to be. I am the viewer, so I have to decide, so that's how it goes. But thank you so much for listening to this episode, and I will see you in the next one.